Hi, this is Lynch Nubley with Educating with Wisdom, and I'm the ambassador for Heaven's creating and protecting goddesses and archangels over life. So I'm going to take a minute and just really nail the issue of the Hori and the Horian, and that it is not at all Jewish, that they are actually wolves in sheep's clothing, which is what Genesis 49 is actually telling you, that the Levites, and you're going to know them by their nose, the Levite and Simon by their nose, and what they're going to do. And it's time to, in order to go into a world global peace, we have to pick the Jesus and the creating and protecting goddesses and archangels over life plan. And that is a Jesus and St. Paul centered understanding of what the Noahide is, and not a Jewish understanding of what the Noahide is. And what you're going to see really interesting is how they corrupt the term Hora. It's only used a few times in the Bible. And what they do is, after the fact, when the genocide is really going rampant against the Hattians and the Horians, these wolves in sheep clothing that are Semites, and the Greeks go and they cloak themselves with Hora on their name in order to usurp and take on everything that's theirs. So we're going to come out of me, and because they want me to put my case out, of the name Hora and Horam, and they call this pregnancy and this. So you can just go through and look at this. What's really interesting is that Hora can also be Mora in Hurrian. Gets very interesting. So this lets us further know that these people are the thieves who stole the language, who don't even know how to work it correctly. And just come out of this for a moment. When Ben Gurion, who changed his name, the great Zionist, which isn't really even Zion, when he changed his name to Ben Gurion, which means lion's whelp, when the Israelis came in, and I have to believe that part of the genocide that occurred was partially set up in order for the greater end. When they went into Israel, they went into Syria, and they took out the Alapacodacy. When they did, they took out all of the most incriminating information, which is the first 5 books, quote unquote, the law of the Old Testament. And then they took out Daniel, not thinking that the Leningrad Codicy would go up or would become available and go up online. Well, that was a mistake. So, with that in mind, because nobody is actually coming out with how the Hora are related to the Hori, which is related to, really, the Horus in Egypt, and that the Horis spread agriculture all over the place, long before the Semites. They weren't even a twinkle in the sky at that point. They're actually the bad guys. And so, let's come in, because we're looking at the dragon and the Semites coming together with certain folks in Africa. Let's come in and take a look at the script here. To conceive and become pregnant. This is what they say it is. Now, we do find it, and the other thing you're going to see is, where is the H? They don't have an H. And the other thing, as I pointed out in ancient Semite, which is here, they have no alpha, they have no H. So, we don't get our alphabet from them. That is absolutely wrong. Proto-Semetic. There is no A in their Proto-Semetic, and notice that they actually have no real designated values for signs. Interesting. They only have consonants, there's no signs, but the Carian, and this is really messed up here, has different values, actual values for these things, and there of course is our Z and the breaker. And I discussed this as well, how that breaks the Semitic code. So it isn't the Semitic, it's not the Phoenicians, and it never was the Semitic or the Phoenicians that built anything. They were never, ever the great builders. They brought sex slavery, death, destruction, no matter where they go. That's what they bring. The Levi. And Jacob lets you know that. My phone is letting me know that that's correct. Okay, let's come out of this. And that's their specialty, storytelling and blackmail. So here we go. Here we have Horim, Mora, and it's telling you where to look. This is where we actually want to look, and that is in the beginning. It's actually creative beginning. Creative of. And we're going into, let's first look at, because they're trying to justify what is Hora. Oh, I know. Before we go into that, I want to come out of it and quickly show you that according to them, Horat Shah, they give themselves a carte blanche, and they use that term when it's not even a Jewish term. They've taken this good, noble term and they've turned it upside down and make it into their wicked old selves. And what they basically say is we can engage in anything we need to do in order to survive and to win. Anything we need to do. So this is important for the women that are Jewish. So you've got these men that have sold you this thing, hook, line, and sinker. Oh, I have to go out and be the bad guy, appear to be the bad guy, because I'm going to run prostitution and do all those things like Epstein did in order to be the middleman, to make sure that I control everything, because that's what I need to do in order for us to survive. Oh, I've got to go out and sleep with all these people. Oh, I've got to go out and do these drugs. Oh, I've got to go out and do what I need to do and control what I need to control in order to make sure that we survive. And that's because the Levites, and they tell you, the people that are known from their nose, those people, and I'm not picking on Jewish people for having noses, because we all have particular things, but it's just that it's sitting in the blessings of 49 that they're talking about. It's right there. And they call them the Ebros, the goat people. Oh, so is Ahudi, by the way. That also means he-goat. So they're the he-goats. So, I mean, the Jewish women themselves, just like Arab women, just like anybody coming out of the Abrahamic tradition, has been sold this line of, oh, I've got to go out and behave like the rest of the guys. Yeah, we all have to have the right to do these things. We all have to have the right to have pornography. We all need you to have abortion so that we can have sex the way we want to. And then we need to have all this kind of medicine to clean things up, because we have to be able to do these things. And we have to be able to blow things up because, well, that's what everybody else is doing. And they have this entire mentality of, well, we have to be able to do this because, well, we all need to be able to do this just to survive. Yeah. And all the women have been buying it. We have more DNA than they do. And Jesus is telling you he has this covered, because what's going to happen to them when they have to review their life after? There is no blackness when you review after. You've got to step into all those lives and all that part of the world and creation that you helped to destroy. Good luck with that one. So let's come out of this, because the Hebrew women are now going to go and, help me step on the head of the snake. Here we go, here. This is BS. I downloaded this as well. And this is, this is basically the American Constitution. It's in there. Everybody gets to have the lowest denominator possible. Yeah. Here we go. So let's come out of here. And so let's actually come in and see. I will take you into that in a minute, but what you will notice is that there are no H's in this. So where do they actually say one of the other places where we're actually going to find it? Because I'm going to take the word away from them. Period. Here we go. It's found here, it's found here, it's found here, and it's found, oh, here we go. Hosea, let's just look at 2:7. Now it actually isn't in Hosea 2:7. Here's Hosea 2:7. And you don't see any Hora there. Notice when they say, and she says, it's actually, and she said. But at least they got this correct. But it's not there. Where do we find it? You find it not in 2:7, you find it in 2:5. And this is Hosea having to take on. And what it really says is that she prostituted, mother them, she shamed, and this is Horeth them. And notice there's no, where's the H? They don't put the H in there. It's not there. But it reads in a very different way. And what they're talking about there begins to twist and turn the whole thing of Hosea and what's being said. So that's where they call the Horeth. But notice there's an H, and there's a U, and there's an R, and there's a TH, or it could be an H, but this means of. And then there's an M. So it could also be Horim, Horaim. We're not quite sure. But where's the H? And it should be here. So why aren't the H's showing up? Well, that's an interesting question. Why are they not claiming the H? So let's come out of here. And let's go into the next section. Here, ḥaron. 3:4. ḥaron. Isn't that Solomon? I think so. The Book of Solomon, Songs of Solomon 3:4. And I didn't find it here either. So I don't know what they're doing. Let's make sure. They are using the JPS here. Here, ḥaron. Share, ḥaron. Why is it called ḥaron? I think it means the Songs of Solomon. Songs of Song, right, that's the Songs of Solomon. Quoted by Rashi under the title Midrash Harav Sherem, it's also the O. Song of Songs, oh, the Songs of Solomon. Okay, good, I was right. So let's go to, what number are we looking at? Sorry to take your time up, but I have to make sure I get this right, because I have to nail this one. 3:4. Let's go into 3:4. I bet we don't find it there. Here is 3. So we're here at 3. Let's make sure we have 3 here. 3. 4. It was but, so let's see. Oh, these are the Evros as little evari. Oh no, as little he-goats. That's what that is. Obrth. Obrth. These are the Evros. Oh my goodness gracious. These are the Jews. That's not what it means at all. Not as, oh my goodness. Do we have the other here? There it is. Chamber of Horeth, the Horeth of Horeth me. So we have something here about the he-goats. That Obrth. Look, keep that word in mind. Let's open this up. Let's go to Song of Songs, this other place they want us to look. Holy smokes. That's Genesis. Yehudi and this other are both, are both he-goats. Let's go into Genesis. Holy smokes. So Genesis 49. He actually talks about God, and he is saying, remember, it's, and she is saying, and she is saying. We saw the female version with the A ending, or she said, before. So it's, and she said. It's actually, and she said. And she said, Jacob, above sons to him. And then it says, and he calls, begather you. All right. And that's, and she meet, and she, and no, it's not future. It's she, and she met. Okay. So let's go and find, there's so much here that's not been translated right. Let's come down to Levi. Here we go. Simon and Levi, brothers, implements of violence, broadswords, them, in deliberation, them, above, she is entering soul of me. So God is entering soul of him. And in the assembly of them, above, she is uniting glory of me. That, and she's saying that, and anger, this is not the word for anger, this is the word for knows. That in knows them, they killed man. Oh no, it should be in curse. Hold on, I've got to wait for curse. This is in, I don't know why it's anger. Something them, they killed man, and in approval them, they used a bull. They implemented the bull, just like Levi does, Aaron does. Okay, here we go. Notice this is, they use this in knows them. This is in glory of me, in knows them, being cursed. So it's cursed, knows them. Not knows of them, cursed, knows them. That's strong. Now here's this word, rage. And it's actually Evros. This is actually the Hebrews. In strong rage, the he-goats. Strong, now look at it. They use rage here, O-B-R-T-H. Where do we find it here? O-B-R-T-H. There it is. He-goats of. So they must have violated the Huris. Too much. It's just too much. Too much. Too much. Too much. It's too much. We just had that there, right? I just took that. Anyway, they are supposed to be broken up and divided among Jacob and Israel. And this, Yehuda, is actually Yehuda, and that is actually another form of he-goat, because you find it in Isaiah 14, when it talks about the he-goats are back. And this is just a play on spelling and a play between Semitic and what could be Hurrian. So this remember, they didn't have an H here. This is Yehuda, and right, or do you see how the play is going on here? It's a mess. It's a mess. Okay. Well, thank you. Here we go.